In the news tonight, drive-through vaccination gains support as COVID infections grow. Get the jab, Fijians told. And Delta variant now more advanced than before. Bolapanaka, Fiji. First up, Fiji has a new daily record of COVID infections with 636 new cases. The gloomy news does not stop there, as we have 6 more deaths to report. We now join Christiana Uluwai, who has all the latest from what was announced via press statement earlier this afternoon.
Well, Josiah, the situation that we've been fearing since the start of the outbreak is slowly starting to unfold right now, right here in the capital city. We've noted a 50% increase in the COVID death rate in comparison to yesterday's COVID death statistics. And one thing in common about these COVID deaths is the fact that majority of them were not vaccinated. Taking today's COVID death statistics alone, 3 of them were not vaccinated at all, while the other 3 have gotten their first jab of the AstraZeneca vaccine, but are not considered fully vaccinated because they haven't taken their second jab. And this is a situation that we have been predicting a couple of nights ago, because in countries where there is a high infection rate, there is also a high rate of hospitalization and death rate. And for those who still think that this is a joke, this is no longer a joke. It's not a joke to the 37 families who've lost their loved ones during this outbreak alone. And the World Health Organization did warn that the Delta variant that we're currently dealing with right now has the ability to resist antibodies in our blood, which is why there's a lot of emphasis on getting vaccinated, because this is the only weapon that will protect you and your families from this deadly virus. And Josiah, for those who still haven't gotten their first jab, there is a wide vaccination campaign around the country where these individuals can take the approach to get vaccinated and protect themselves and their families. Josiah.
Naga Christiana. Fijians came out in numbers to get their AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine at Albert Park in Suva. This comes as the Suva City Council, in collaboration with the Health Ministry, started a drive-through vaccination campaign, a first of its kind for Fiji. Lina Rees has more.
The Suva City Council hopes this drive-through vaccination campaign will encourage more people to get vaccinated.
What it does is you are in your own bubble, which is a good thing. And second is for those who are physically challenged, this is an opportunity for them not to get out, but to get vaccinated inside the vehicle.
Staff present say it is encouraging to see a big number of people turn up to get vaccinated, adding that within the first hour, over 150 people managed to get their first jab.
I'm excited to see the number end of the day today, and this will actually tell us how effective this drive-through is. And this is very exciting, very, very good way of vaccinating. First ever time something is happening like this in Fiji. First ever drive-through we can hear from overseas, but this is the first time we can see that we have done this and it looks a successful one.
People who got their jabs at the drive-through are also encouraging Fijians to get their vaccination.
For others' safety and for my own safety that I get vaccinated.
I think everyone should get vaccinated so we can protect everyone.
Well, it's not so bad. It's not even painful, so it's okay.
It should be compulsory for everybody.
To date, a total of 324,462 people have received their first dose, while 54,737 people have received their second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, and this continues on an upward trend. Lina Rees, FBC News.
With the increase in case numbers, severe disease and more deaths in the Suva-Nosori containment zone, Fijians have been urged to get vaccinated. While many are still hesitant to get their first jab, with a lot of misinformation being circulated about the side effects of the vaccine, some of those who received both jabs are encouraging Fijians to do the right thing. The second dose of the vaccine reduces 92% of hospitalization, severe illness or death from COVID-19.
The former executive of ANZ Bank, Saud Minam, is one of those who have received both doses of the COVID-19 vaccine and didn't feel any harmful side effects.
First jab, I thought that I should have a little bit of like a pinch in my left shoulder where, they put a jab. But the second one, I didn't even feel it, anything.
Health professionals at Live and Learn echoed similar sentiments while encouraging others to get vaccinated.
When we get vaccinated, at least we have a chance of fighting the the virus and stopping the pandemic. The unusual side effects that people are claiming, no, I did not get that.
Other Fijians who are fully vaccinated consider themselves fortunate.
We should follow or respect the law from the government, and we should take vaccine.
I think we're really lucky here in Fiji to even have the supply to provide enough vaccines for the population.
Health officials in Fiji are continuously urging the public to get vaccinated, and so far 324,462 individuals have been inoculated with the first dose. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The Delta variant has the ability to resist the antibodies in our immune system. This was revealed by the World Health Organization earlier this week. Christiana Ulwai reports.
The Delta variant is transmissible than the previous variants and resists the antibodies that we have in our blood.
So what that means is that you need a higher level of antibodies to overcome this variant as compared to, let's say, the Alpha variant.
The WHO further revealed the factors contributing to increased transmission.
The relaxation or the inappropriate use of public health and social measures. Proven public health and social measures that we know prevent infections, reduce the spread of somebody who is infected with the virus to others, and save lives.
There are strategies in place that can help us win the war against this killer virus.
Now the good news is that all of the WHO emergency use listed vaccines do protect against developing severe disease, hospitalization and death due to the Delta variant.
Social gathering and increased social mobility will allow the virus to spread further. The Delta variant is the fourth variant of concern, now detected in 96 countries, including Fiji. Christiana Uluwai, FBC News.
And to our latest COVID-19 update. We have another record today with 636 new cases of COVID-19 reported for the period ending at 8 a.m. There are also 6 deaths. Fiji has recorded 7,079 cases since April of this year, with a total of 7,149 cases since the first case was reported in March last year. There are now 5,776 active cases in isolation, with 1,318 recoveries in total. The COVID-19 death toll now stands at 39. Up ahead, police tightens up operations. And sugarcane farmers also taking safety measures. Welcome back. The Fiji Police Force is beefing up its operations and surveillance to protect the majority of Fijians from those who continue to make foolish decisions resulting in the spread of COVID-19. Acting Commissioner of Police Ruseti Tunrabu says tougher measures will be implemented and people can expect more Fijians being arrested. Police are out in numbers, ensuring people are wearing masks. Businesses follow the safety protocols, clamping down on social gatherings, and public service vehicle operators adhering to the 50% capacity guidelines.
There's no more warnings that to be done. I think I've said enough. It's time for us to take in people, and it's already been showing in the weekend, and we'll continue to arrest people along. And the thing is that we are putting our lives at risk now, our police officers.
Tunrabu says this is being done to help protect Fijians who are genuinely concerned about their health and well-being.
It boils down to the matter of life and death in terms of the situations that we are facing. There is a lot of numbers, increased numbers in the COVID positives, and we thought first when we were conducting our operations is to shift the burden of responsibility to the members of the community so that they can themselves take responsible. But it seems that few are continuing to disregard that.
The Acting Commissioner of Police is urging those who are against the current effort to reconsider their stance and understand that cooperation in adhering to the health measures is key to saving lives and moving forward. The Turanikor of Somosomo village on Ngau Island in the Lomawiti group is putting in the hard yards to disseminate COVID-19 information and the ongoing vaccination program. Speaking to FBC News, Tomasin Ravikula says they are not letting their guard down and the villagers are strictly adhering to COVID safety protocols to prevent the virus from entering the community. Somosomo villages in Ngau are expecting a team of health officials this Friday for the vaccination awareness program and says villagers are willing to receive the jab.
I have been informing the villagers about the importance of receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. I'm closely liaising with the Matintikina Provincial Office and health officials about the vaccination programs as it is an effective tool in reducing the spread of the virus.
Ravikula states that a few people on the island were swabbed last week and results have returned negative.
As a precautionary measure, some people were swabbed last week. This is after the 15 crew member of the South Island shipping vessel tested positive, and these are villagers who are believed to have some sort of contacts with those positive cases.
The village heads are also working hard in keeping villagers informed, especially with the vaccination program, and I salute them for their dedication and commitment.
Meanwhile, a single case of COVID-19 was identified on Ngau Island in the Lomawiti group last week after being picked up on the Health Ministry's dashboard. Cane farmers in Lautoka are taking precautionary measures to ensure they do not catch COVID-19, which is spreading like wildfire around the country. As the Lautoka mill began crushing earlier this week, growers are also on high alert as number of COVID cases have sprung up in the sugar city. Philip Naikaso has more.
It will be a very different crushing season for Lautoka cane farmers as the country grapples with the pandemic.
And it is very important that the gangs, in particular, they adhere to the COVID rules that is in place, and we emphasize the sardars of the gang to take the lead role in this.
However, the message to growers, lorry drivers and cane cutters has been clear, and that is to abide by the COVID protocols. They have also been reminded to stay within their bubble.
I've got 10 truck drivers which are operating in my gang. I told them, please do not drink kava. Stay in your own lorries. We never go to meet with farmers. We just do it with online system, update on phones.
When I go inside the farm, first of all, I measure all the lorry drivers, operator, everything. Take the temperature, wear a mask. It is not like before, previous years, like when you mix the crop or something like that. No, this year, no, nothing.
With crushing already underway in Lautoka, they are targeting to crush 510,000 tons of cane and produced about 50,000 tons of sugar from the mill. Philip Naikaso, FBC News.
The Sugarcane Growers Council is urging cane farmers in Lambasa and Senganga to commence harvesting. Eleanor Torangabi reports majority of farmers are still boycotting harvest due to the low forecast price.
Close to 200 tons of cane harvested and sent to the Lambasa sugar mill in truckloads from this farm in Natua Senganga.
Start harvesting when it was announced on the news to start the harvest. So I thank God for giving us a very good weather. And the labor, there were more than 20 laborers they came.
For William Elawabau, the low forecast price is the least of his worries.
If I won't harvest my cane, then my farm will produce nil ton for this year. So, and that will be more pressure on me, more burden to me.
Wengele farmer Birsami Naidu says there's nothing stopping him from harvesting his cane, not even the low forecast price.
If I get a number and my harvesting team, and I will do the harvesting. What is the use of keeping a cane without harvesting? I say I'm going to harvest.
The Sugarcane Growers Council says it has found a solution for the farmers.
We have worked out a strategy whereby we are allowing canes to claim last year's approved rate, which is sufficient for them to cut and deliver the cane.
The council adds, with the country going through a difficult time, Now is an opportunity for all to work together to support the industry. Eleanor Turanga View, FBC News.
Coming up in world news, the UK braces for more infections. And later in sports, Euro 2020 semi-final starts tomorrow.
Majority of businesses are still coming to terms with the effects the COVID-19 pandemic is going to have on their ventures as Fiji works to contain the further spread of the virus. With the next national budget to be announced later this week, many are hopeful that incentives will remain in the new budget to help businesses bounce back. Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation CEO Kameli Mbatiweti says businesses are hoping for a national budget similar to that of the current one. Mbatiweti says this is because many are still reeling from the effects of closure due to the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. He adds that the final figure on how much businesses have lost will take time to assess as many ventures remain closed or working to meet safety protocols in the hopes of reopening soon.
Last year's budget was a nice budget, was a good budget. We ask that if not too many changes can be made to the budget. And all that we asked was the whole objective is that we protect local employment.
Vision Investment Limited's Fiji operations recorded an impairment loss of $2.4 million, which is a 52% increase over the previous year. This was mainly due to COVID-19 and tropical cyclones Ana and Harold impacting business across the country. In their audited group financial statements ending for the year 31st March 2021, Vision Investment says demand for discretionary goods such as high-ticket home goods and automobiles promoted by the company were particularly impacted. It adds the automotive operation of the company suffered with a decline in the new vehicle market estimated in excess of 50%. Vision Investment Limited says the 14 days containment zone in Suva in April this year further impacted sales, considering some of their major retail operations of the company are based in Suva. Here, the local exchange rates are set early this morning. The Fiji dollar continued its good surge today as it gained against all but the one. Commodities today saw crude oil bounce back to just under 2 cents to finish at 76.57 a barrel. Gold rose again to end at 1,792 per ounce, and silver down by 2 cents to end at 26.58. And we now join Sinifa from HFC with the latest in the money market.
Good evening. The New Zealand dollar rose today after a strong business survey pulled forward rate hike expectations to as soon as November. Its Australian counterpart crept higher ahead of its own crucial central bank policy meeting later today. The Eurozone businesses expanded activity at the fastest rate in 15 years in June, as the easing of more coronavirus restrictions brought life back to the bloc's dominant service industry. Meanwhile, the US dollar and other majors were mostly steady as investors wait on the minutes from the Federal Reserve's meeting in June, when it surprised markets with a hawkish shift. They are due to be published tomorrow. As for now, investors await the Eurozone retail sales data and the US ISM Service Purchase Manager Index data to gauge the market sentiment. That's all from your HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Motors has acquired a new land property in the Voivoi Industrial Subdivision at Lenga Lenga Nadi with just under $5 million. The acquisition is in line with its plans to relocate its Nandi dealership from its current location in Namaka Nandi, with the prevailing lease expiring in late 2022. The company will be signing a construction agreement with Fletcher Building Limited to commence building work estimated to be just under $16 million. The company says the planned capital investment will provide its valued employees and customers with a significantly improved business environment and position the company for future growth. That is the latest from my end, but coming up after the break, animal safety paramount for SPCA during this pandemic.
Welcome back. With the recent heat wave in Canada, a new report from the Natural Resources Canada gives the latest information on climate change. This includes its impact on rural and remote communities. Animal safety during this pandemic is an area of concern for society for prevention of cruelty to animals. Animals are at risk, especially when the owners fall sick from COVID-19. Christiana Oluwai reports.
Come here!
Animals are often a man's best friend, and their safety is as critical as ours during this outbreak.
CCA has this first aid. We have developed this new first aid card pamphlet. It's on our website. So people can also download that and be familiar with basic pet safeties, like...
Chanel Narayan is urging members of the public to share the little they can and feed stray animals.
Like if one person feeds a stray, like one meal once a day, that's a lot, So if people can be more kind and look after the stray in your neighborhood.
As Fiji continues to grapple with the pandemic, our animal friends are often disregarded. However, a little act of kindness will not do any harm for our fur friends, who has always been a guardian in many Fijian families. Christiana Oluwai, FBC News.
And we now join with Nina with sports.
Thanks, Josiah. Good evening. Ahead in sports, Fiji works on winning mentality. The Flying Fijians team will be going into their All Blacks 2-test series with a winning mentality and nothing less. Each player has been reminded that this is the country's team and they will need to do their part to bring glory to Fiji. Caroline Itavi reports.
The bond in the team is even stronger now than it was last year during the Autumn Nations Cup.
We were on something similar like this. We were in lockdown for, I think, 6 to 8 weeks. So, the good thing is we've been through this before, and the morale is really high.
It will be a do-or-die match for the Flying Fijians team.
They're a world-class team for a reason. They breed rugby players like no tomorrow. So, whoever is going to be whoever's going to be in that first 15, it's going to be a big task for us. So the most important, and look, they hardly lose at home, so it's a great opportunity for us to go out there. We've got nothing to lose.
Fiji has some of the best players in the world, and they will need to prove it come game day.
So it's been a long time since the two teams have played against each other, and you're playing the best team in the world. It's got to bring the best out of you. So we have to be as best as we can.
With only 3 days to go, Fiji is ironing out all areas before the much-anticipated clash in Dunedin on Saturday. Caroline Itavi, FBC Sports.
The national sevens team will be playing for the country as they prepare to head to Tokyo to defend their title.
Exciting for me to lead this group into it. It's been a long year. It's been a tough year. Our hearts go out and prayers go out to everybody in Fiji for everything that you're going through, and believe you me that this situation that we have here, obviously the players very much in the forefront of their mind of what they've got to go and do on behalf of the country as well.
Fiji is pooled with Great Britain, Japan and Canada at the Olympic Games, which starts later this month. 2 Fijiana players that would have made the final 13-member side to the Olympics were dropped due to injuries. Vani Buleki and the experienced Luisa Tisolo were injured at the recent Oceania Sevens. However, for Captain Rusila Nangasao, the journey must continue. The Fijiana will have a lot to do as they are pooled with one of the top teams from the 2016 Rio Olympics.
A bronze medalist for the last Olympic, and we got France and Brazil. We are looking forward, our biggest challenge. But
we've made up our mind of who will represent us in the upcoming Tokyo.
England manager Gareth Southgate may be the talk of the town amongst football fans, but he isn't going to allow it to get to his head. The former international has been an integral part of England's success at the Euro 2020. The Euro 2020 first semi-final is on tomorrow at 7 a.m. between Italy and Spain, and you can watch this game on FBC Sports on the Walesi platform. Brazil is through to the final of the Copa America. This after the side managed a 1-0 win over Peru in the semi-final this afternoon. The side will meet the winner of the Argentina-Colombia semi-final tomorrow. Fiji Mbati and New South Wales prop Daniel Saifiti will not feature in the final State of Origin clash against Queensland next Wednesday. That's it from sports tonight. Coming up in Weird and Wonderful, how a tiger got saved from TikTok. Details after the break.
A high pressure system to the far south of Fiji directs a fresh to strong southeast to easterly wind flow over the group. In the west, partly cloudy and there will be cool nights. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, mostly cloudy all day. Up north, clear skies with cool temperatures. Rough to very rough seas. Turning to the tide, the next high tide is at 4:31 a.m. and sunrise will be at 6:38. For tomorrow, expect fresh to strong southeast to easterly winds with speed up to 45 kilometers an hour over southern parts of Viti. Looking further on to Thursday, cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. In Fijian Pulse, we asked, should harsh penalties be given to Fijians who continue to break protocols?
At the number of positive cases on a daily basis, it has been increasing day by day, and it's not getting any better. And I think harsh penalties should be given to those who break the COVID-19 protocols and restrictions.
I think so, because we need the safety of all the people in Fiji, and that's the best thing.
Penalize all those who don't follow the medical protocols.
There should be more strict, protocols coming out from Ministry of Health and other authorities.
And recapping our main stories, COVID infections continue to grow. Get the jabs, Fijians told, and Delta variant now more advanced than before. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we're asking, are you satisfied with the 7th team being named for the Olympics? Visit our website to take part. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share with us via our various social media accounts. You can also download our FBC app to keep updated with the very latest news and sports and listen to our 6th radio station live. That's your news this evening. Until tomorrow night, take care and Mother Mother.